The movie is Jurassic World Rebirth, which was written by David Koepp and directed by Gareth Edwards. The film follows Zora Bennett, a skilled covert operative who is leading an expedition to the most dangerous place on planet Earth, an island research facility for the original Jurassic Park. Their mission is to secure genetic material from dinosaurs whose DNA can provide life-saving benefits to all of mankind. As the top-secret expedition becomes more and more risky, they soon make a sinister, shocking discovery that's been hidden from the world for decades that puts all of their lives in jeopardy. I had high hopes for this movie. You've got Gareth Edwards directing, who's crushed it with films like Rogue One and The Creator, and he also insisted on using real film to shoot this movie, despite the much higher costs and the simplicity that comes along with shooting digitally. Then you've also got David Koepp writing the screenplay for this movie, who also wrote the screenplay for Black Bag from earlier this year, which I loved, as well as the OG Jurassic Park, which is just absolutely iconic. And on top of that, you've got a great cast of very talented actors, including Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, and Mahershala Ali. Also, I just love Jurassic Park. Being in awe of dinosaurs is something that kids and adults alike can relate to, and I think it's one of the reasons these movies are typically so successful. They're essentially guaranteed to have a box office profit simply because dinosaurs rock. A few of the Chris Pratt ones had pretty bad reviews, but each still made over $1 billion at the box office. Unfortunately, all in all, I was pretty disappointed in this movie. It definitely had some good aspects for sure, but I think the bad outweighed the good, and there were some parts of it that were so bad, I just really couldn't look past them. Okay, let's start with the good. Visually, this was fantastic. It looked amazing. Seriously, shooting on film should be a requirement for any future Jurassic Park movies because it just makes such a massive difference in the way that these movies look and feel. It's incredibly crisp, it features excellent color grading that brings back bright, vibrant colors like we saw in the original that seemingly vanished from previous films in favor of boring dark blues and grays for some reason. It felt reminiscent of the films from the 90s in a lot of ways, which I very much appreciated. The CGI was top notch, the dinosaurs all looked great, they really looked as good as they probably could, and any digital sets or backgrounds were blended pretty seamlessly with practical effects. I also liked that they returned to having the dinosaurs behave like wild animals, as you would expect that they would. Being territorial, protecting their young, or going after perceived threats are all examples of how they made the dinosaurs' actions actually make sense within the movie. The action sequences involving the dinosaurs were super entertaining. There were some thrilling chase sequences and some suspenseful, exciting moments of people narrowly escaping becoming dinosaur food, and I thought those were easily the best scenes of the movie. Now, as for the bad, this script was rough. The dialogue was incredibly clunky, and it just felt like they did Scarlett Johansson's character dirty. Her character was just very poorly written, and she's a great actress. She did her best to try to salvage it, but there's only so much you can do with bad writing. In my opinion, the only character who was overall pretty well done was Jonathan Bailey's Dr. Henry Loomis. But even he wasn't immune to the flawed writing. On top of that, the pacing of this movie made me feel like I was going insane. It's only 2 hours and 13 minutes, but it feels like it's double that amount of time because they just could not figure out how to make this flow right at all. There would regularly be an incredibly exciting scene that would come to a screeching halt only to transition to a very out of place, heartfelt, and intimate conversation that was poorly written and felt extremely flat, or a clear attempt at comedic relief that just wasn't funny. It was kind of shockingly unfunny. They tried to inject a good bit of comedy into this movie, but it was rough. A few people, kind of chuckled 2 or 3 times during my screening, but I really couldn't believe how few of the jokes landed. I thought the simple plot and overall concept of the movie was good, despite being somewhat of a retreading of the previous films, but I felt like they barely scratched the surface of the mutant and deformed dinosaurs, which was a major plot point in the movie. There were only a few of those dinosaurs featured, and when they did make appearances, they were extremely brief. And lastly, it felt like there wasn't much of a resolution to this movie. It kind of just ended, and there wasn't really a lot of coming together in the end, like you would expect. And that's fine, doesn't have to be sort of storybook ending, but it felt kind of unresolved and a little bit abrupt. Now, as I've said, I didn't love this one for a number of different reasons, but I have seen a lot of people who seem to have really enjoyed this one, so I highly recommend going out to see this one for yourself and let me know what you think. While it let me down from a script and pacing perspective, the film looked great visually, featured some exciting action sequences, and once again made dinosaurs behave like wild beasts. And I think that's enough to at least check it out for yourself, especially if you're a big fan of Jurassic Park. You can currently catch this one exclusively in a movie theater near you. So go watch Jurassic World Rebirth. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, please share it with a friend, add a comment letting me know what you thought of this movie or what movie you think I should review next, and subscribe to my channel. I put out a movie review each week, so subscribe to stay tuned. Thanks, y'all.